All right, we are live. I'll give some time for people to start trickling in, but hopefully we can get some guests on this one. Let's see, we got Fremlin the Gremlin. What's going on, man? What's good? Who we got? We got first thing I can't pronounce, Sniper, Crash Bash Fox, Gareth Anderson, Jack Wilco. I expect to see a lot of newer faces in this chat just because I'm streaming at a time I don't usually stream at, and this is really for a lot of people who are fans overseas and don't ordinarily get the time to catch the streams whenever I am streaming. Hold on. I sense a disturbance. Give me 1 second. Hey, what's up? Streaming? What's up? No, nothing. Not really. Maybe a couple hours. What's up? Can we maybe later? Okay. All right, bye-bye. All right, sorry about that. Yeah. This is for all the boyos who can't usually catch these streams. It's not in the middle of the night like usual for you guys. What's going on? Got Sith Geek in the house. Who else we got? We got Gareth Anderson. Marty Bricks. What's going on, dude? I'm trying to see if I can make this chat bigger on my computer screen because right now it is very small. Here we go. All right. Here we go. We got Bass Boost back in the house. All right, so I'm obviously working on Vardos, and I'm going to be working on the landing platform. Not the area that I've been working on so far, but kind of moving over to this side. So you can see, if you guys haven't been watching the streams, I'm in a different position. I typically have been sitting on that side. Now I'm back over here. And I want to try to start expanding this platform back out in the other direction, which is pretty exciting because I feel like this thing is getting closer and closer to completion, and we can hopefully start working on some of the buildings and stuff pretty soon. So what's going on? Ernie Slam Jams. He says he's watching this from a park and it's cold. Why don't you have a sweater on? What, your parents let you out? SMH. I'm doing good though, Fremlin. Thanks for asking. How are you today, man? So some of the things I'm having to consider while building now is obviously like the wiring. Oh, Creed. So this is actually a Hangouts chat. If you would like to come on, I would love to have you on as a guest. This is part of my commitment to you guys to be better about doing chats where I can actually have people on. So this is one of them. I want to be accepting guests throughout the time. Commander Creed has been asking for a while, so if you're down, I would love to have you on, my guy. What's up, SWU Lego? What's going on? I'm doing great today, guys. I'm off work, so I get to stream at this time. Creed says, never used Hangouts before, so you have to walk me through it. Okay. Well, first question is, are you planning on using your phone or your computer to do this? If you're using your phone, you'll have to get the Hangouts app. If you're using a computer, you'll have to log on to like your Gmail, and then I'll invite you, and then it'll just take you in through there. Hey, thank you, Marfan20. Shout out to Marfan20Yi for the super chat donation. I appreciate it. What's up, Forever Lego Studios? Appreciate that, SWU Lego. We got some, I guess I stream it this time more often. It's nice to see so many fresh faces. But yeah, Creed, so if you're using your computer, hopefully you have a Gmail. If not, that's kind of going to be a problem. But if you basically just need to, you can like DM me on Instagram your email, and then I'll invite you to the chat, and then it'll bring you on. But what you gotta do is log on to your Gmail. I'm doing good, Preston. Appreciate that, Gareth Anderson. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm streaming with Hangouts right now, which means that I don't have much control over the quality. It's literally just like it's whatever Google decides to make it at the moment. But yeah, quality's not gonna. That's the thing about when you do Hangouts chats. I can't do anything about the quality. But all right, so I'm gonna be having guests on. Commander Creed is up first. He was here first, and he's been asking for a while. But I'll try to get through a lot of various people as we progress through the event. What's up, Shannon McFarland? Preston Cooper says, "Yo, I'm mad. I'm moving houses and all my Lego is packed up." Well, how soon until you get to get all that Lego unpacked, my guy? All right, so I'm gonna start trying to build. But like I was saying, the thing I'm having to consider now when I'm building is like the wiring. So I have to take that into account whenever I build something. Like, am I going to be able to have wiring go all the way through this? Creed, you're welcome to talk about anything you want, as long as it's Lego Stars or Lego Stars related. I'll be streaming for probably a couple of hours. It won't be a super long stream, but it'll be, I feel, an appropriate amount of time for a stream. It says, if I were to be on stream with you, what would be acceptable for me to do? If you plan on having your camera on, I don't know, just you can sit there and talk. I don't need you to do anything specific. Otherwise, like, you don't need to have your camera on if you don't want to do that. What brand of lighting am I using? So right now I'm just using the lights that are in this room. They are, I don't know the brand to be quite honest, but they're like LED daylight lights. That's what you want if you're trying to record video or stream or anything like that. You want daylight lights. They're more white than the typical yellow lights. And nice thing about it is I don't know, it just makes it easier to get the actual color of the things you're trying to record. Looks a lot better in my opinion. But yeah, Hunter, I'd love to have you on. I can have you on after Zandy asked as well. Maybe we'll bring you and Zandy at the same time. Why wasn't JJ Binks on your list? That's a great question. I don't know. Completely slipped my mind. Got a lot of people in right now. What's up, Enthert? You got Enthert finally in the house? All right. Let's try to build something. And Captain Lego Star Wars, yeah, I'm accepting guests today, so I'll put you in the queue. Yeah, so we can talk about that. The new extended trailer for Star Wars Resistance. Have you guys seen it? I honestly, during the beginning of it, I wasn't in love with it. Like, it was just kind of what I expected. And but when they started like getting into like the First Order stuff, that really got me. Like, I was so excited to see them kind of getting into that area of Star Wars, and I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually. I just made a post on Boogaloo about it. About streaming or Resistance. All right, Creed, send me your. Oh, did you do that? Yeah, send me your email so I can have you on. Let's get this show on the road. Hit me up with that email, my guy. If not, I'm going to have to move on without you. Appreciate that, Brick Scheme Productions. Oh, I'm sorry, the Brick Scheme Productions. What's up, Matt? What you up to, man? I'm planning to have this mock done by Christmas. All right. Commander Creed has sent the transmission. Now let's see if we can get this guy added. All right, the transmission has been rerouted back to Lewis, aka Commander Creed. What is my aim for 2019? I don't know, 20,000 subs, 30,000 subs, 40,000, 50,000, 100,000 subs. What's up, CO Clone Commander? Appreciate that, Antoine. All right. Creed, the transmission has been sent. Forever Lego Studio says, Jay, do you mind if I join later today? I'm leaving for piano in a bit. Get down at 3:20. Are you Central Time? If I'm still streaming by then yeah. But for me, 3:20 is like 2 hours from now. So I don't know if I'll be streaming. When did I make my Sigifig? Earlier this year, I guess. Is that stream really in 720p? Man, it's so slow on the way to Germany. I don't know. With Hangouts, there's no way for me to tell, to be quite honest. Doing hard right now for English lessons. Can you explain the difference between for and since is? Please help. I don't know if this is the right place to be looking for English homework help. Am I excited for Star Wars Resistance? Yes, I am. We were kind of talking about that earlier. Appreciate that, Stormy, doing your civic duty, your civic moderating duty. Okay, what's going on, Creed? What's going on, man? I haven't received anything about joining. Okay, so we're gonna try this another way then. I'm going to email you a Hangouts link, and you will click that link, and hopefully you will join Hangouts. All right. I just emailed you the invite link, so you should definitely get that. In Minecraft. All right. So Creed should hopefully be on soon. Appreciate that, Brick Scheme Productions. All right. How do you find the time for posting videos and work? I personally find it kind of stressful. You got to really be passionate about it. You got to really love to do it. It's not easy. It's not easy to get up and record and be in front of a camera and be interesting. Here we go. We got Lewis. All right, Lewis, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can barely hear you. Oh my God. Okay, say something.
Hello.
Okay, here we go. Perfect. Well, everyone, welcome Commander Creed to the stream. He is here to tell you all why Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith is a terrible movie. I'll take it away, Lewis. But in actuality, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Not much going on.
All right, so I saw that you did make a post about Star Wars Resistance. For those of you who don't know, they dropped what they call an extended trailer for Star Wars Resistance earlier today, I guess. And my general impression from it was the beginning of it seemed kind of like the same old stuff that we've been seeing so far. But when they started getting into the First Order stuff, that's when I was really captivated by it, and I got really excited by that. It was nice and refreshing to see, us doing stuff in the new era of things that's not completely secluded from it. What was your overall impression?
I kind of like the gold stormtrooper. He's pretty much
gold. That was weird. I feel like it's like a thing now. We're gonna get shiny stormtroopers. We got chrome, silver Phasma. We got the gold guy now. I imagine we might get a bronze one at some point.
Yeah. There's also the red interceptor.
Yeah. So what's up with that? Do you know anything about that other than what we've just seen on the commercial?
No, I watched Star Wars Explains breakdown video of it, but there's not really much to it yet.
I feel like we will definitely see a Lego set of that. That's perfect opportunity to do that.
Oh yeah, it will make for a really good set though.
Yeah, it would. So it makes me wonder, in I guess The Last Jedi, they showed the little hologram of the First Order Interceptor. I don't know if there's any chance, we didn't see it in color, but I do wonder if there's any chance that that's the one that we saw in The Last Jedi.
Oh, most likely, yeah, it will be.
The Jedi, I mean, the Interceptors make for great ships, whether it be for the Jedi and the Sith, or for the Empire, rather. It's I guess Sith had the Infiltrator.
Yeah.
How did they come up with these names? But so let's talk about your Star Wars opinions. I think I generally know them, but I'd like to kind of let the fans know them. That seems to be the tradition. We anyone who comes on, I'd like to ask them to rank the Star Wars films. So do you feel comfortable doing that right now?
Up to right now, so I don't accidentally repeat myself.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I have to write down the titles so I don't accidentally say Cello twice or something.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you a few minutes, and in the meantime, I'll give everyone my rankings, because God knows I don't do that enough on this channel. But guys, breaking news, I'm about to give you the definitive rankings to the Star Wars movies from best to worst. And this is the truth. The best Star Wars film is, of course, A New Hope. Second best, Empire Strikes Back. Third best, and someone's going to have something to say about this, is, of course, The Last Jedi. Fourth best, Force Awakens. Then Return of the Jedi. After that, we got Rogue One. Then we got Solo, A Star Wars Story. Then we start getting into the movies that really don't deserve to be on this list, but I have to put them there because there's Star Wars in the title. But it's going to be Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and then at the very bottom of the list, in the lower levels, and I'm not talking Coruscant, we got Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. And that is your definitive Star Wars ranking. You can thank me later.
Okay, I think I've got my list down.
All right. What's your list, my guy?
So, number 1 is Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
Then A New Hope.
Okay.
Awakens.
Okay.
Jedi.
Which one?
The Last Jedi, Episode 8.
Okay. Gotcha.
Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
So, Rogue One, Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, and Attack of the Clones.
So you think Phantom Menace is the best prequel, and I think there are a lot of arguments to be made for it. Like I can certainly see why a person would think that. I think that out of all the prequels, the Phantom Menace is probably the one done in the most, I guess. It's done more in the spirit of Star Wars. Like there's more Star Wars-y type things in that movie than all the other prequels. So I can certainly see it. But the biggest thing for me that kind of takes it to the bottom of the list is that it's just boring most of the time, you know? The entire sequence when they go back to Coruscant from Tatooine, it's just such a blur, and I don't know, they just nothing happens for 30 minutes in that film, and I don't know, I don't love it. I do like the pod race. The pod race might be my favorite sequence in all of the prequels. And
we need more pod racing.
Yeah, we do. And some people like to think that the Duel of the Fates was great. I personally don't care for that fight at all. The music is fine, and the idea, the location, the everything is set up to be great, right? You have these two Jedi, they're fighting this very cool looking Sith guy who looks like Satan with a double-sided lightsaber, and it's all set up to be great. And then they start doing what I like to call lightsaber dancing, where they play fight with lightsabers and try to do their best impression of a convincing lightsaber fight, and it just comes off pretty awfully to me. How do you feel about that fight?
I don't mind the lightsaber duels in the prequels. It's just it's way over the top and flashy.
Yeah. It's sad to think about, because I mean they spend so much time and effort during those sequences. There's no telling how much rehearsing they have to do to get it to look like that. Yeah. And then it amounts to something that's just whatever, you know? What's up? We got H2 Brick. What's going on, Noah? All the European folk are coming through, and I appreciate it, because
hell yeah,
in a while.
My people.
So here's a question. I get the impression that you were a fan of the prequels in your childhood, right?
I'd say so, yeah.
All right. So then, at what point did you realize that the prequels weren't good?
When I watched them first, I liked them, but I wasn't I knew they weren't that great. I just liked all the action and that sort of stuff, mostly. I was more of a fan of, because I watched the original trilogy, around the... I liked that more. So, I just liked the lightsaber fights.
Would you say that George Lucas ruined your childhood? Take it that far?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a bit much. That's the thing. Like, I feel Star Wars fans at this point, they get so afraid for them to make like a Star Wars movie that isn't great or even one that's bad. But I still remain under the impression that regardless of what Disney does, like there's still 3 like great to amazing Star Wars films that no matter what happens, like we have those, and that's really all we need. Like there's so much in those 3 original films that if they never made any more Star Wars, like I think we would be all right, you know.
Sell like toys and merchandise as well, because there's still like plenty of stuff.
Exactly, yeah. The only thing that would maybe be annoying is like we went out of mock ideas. Like there would just have to be a cycle.
Yeah.
Have to keep going through them, which I really do appreciate the prequels for doing. Like if there's one thing that I feel they've contributed is lots of mock material.
Yeah, there's so many like worlds and like scenes that you can like recreate.
Yeah, so then that brings me to my next point. And when you think about like worlds and different planets we visit, it seems like I don't know why, but the spin-offs are just cranking out planets like crazy. Like I'm pretty sure we get like 5 or 6 planets in both Solo and Rogue One, and it's just like, do they just get all like the rejected planet ideas, and they're just like, well, we gotta use these. Let's just put them in these films. Like, I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Well, we got. Did we get like 2 new planets each in Solo and Rogue One?
Yeah, we get. So I guess for Solo, we get Corellia, which I don't know if you consider that a new planet. We've certainly heard about it before, but we actually see it for the first time. So I think we can call that a new planet. In Solo, we also get Savareen. We get what's it called? Mimban.
Yeah.
We get Vandor.
Yeah.
Vandor. We get I don't know what the planet, like that last planet they go to when they get the Falcon back, but I think we can call that a new planet.
Yeah.
And then I feel like there's one more. Am I missing one? Castle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
how many
that's 6 planets.
Jesus Christ, man. 6 in one movie.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's just like
we don't need 6 planets.
That's why, like, I don't know, like the flow of the sequels, I feel like they jump around a lot more than the like regular Star Wars films that we've gotten. I don't know, like I think the pacing of the other like the normal movies we've gotten has been better, really because they don't have to jump around so much. Like we just go to so many different places. Like Rogue One started off, you know, with I guess Rogue One and Solo kind of start off the same way, like many years before the actual story takes place. But you start off on Edu, then they go to what's it? I don't even know what the planet is called, but wherever Jen is like in prison. I don't know. I don't remember that planet.
Yeah.
And then you go to the Ring of Catherine where Cassian is, and then you go to Yavin, and then we get Mustafar, and then in a flashback we get Coruscant, and then we get what's it called? Wabani, that's it. And then you go back to Jeddah.
Yeah.
And then there's Scarif at the end. That's like 8 planets. Like,
oh my god. I never realized how many.
So many planets. And like I thought episode 3 got up there and like, the planet photo. And that was really just all attributed to that one montage we see in the middle of the film. But like
I'll be fair to that. Like,
I think that's fine. Like, it was cool to see that. Yeah. But these sequels are, I mean, these spinoffs are just cranking through planets like it's nothing.
It's very unnecessary. Like you could have had the plot of Solo and Rogue One in like right with 2 planets at the most.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I don't know. I think the films that go to the least amount of planets end up being some of the best ones. Like we don't need too much to happen in the film. But yeah, no, that's crazy to think about. So what is your favorite Lego set? We can get into some Lego Star Wars talk.
Well, if I'm basing this off the sets I have now, but I complete, I'm gonna go with the 2013 gunship. To be honest, it looks so good.
Which gunship? I didn't hear you.
2013.
Say it one more time. I didn't hear you.
2013 gunship.
Oh, Republic gunship. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that thing is legendary in my opinion. Like, it's so great that we got that set.
Yeah.
Just because I mean it doesn't seem that we really get waves like that too often. Insofar as like I don't know, like I guess around that time we got that like episode 2 wave I'd call it, where the gunship ATTE, that Yoda and Dooku duel, and I think even the Alliance take came out all at the same time. And even after that, we got, or maybe it was before that, we got the like Jabba episode 6 wave, where it was like we had the skiff, Jabba's sail barge, Jabba's palace all come out at the same time. And other than like the new movies, we haven't really gotten anything like that in a while. So I would like to see some more things like that soon.
Yeah. I mean, it's like on top of my bookshelf right now. And it's like any angle you look at it from, it just looks good.
Oh yeah.
It's like the perfect set.
So here's a question. How do you, I guess, which do you like more, the Lego set of the Republic gunship or the Republic gunship like in Star Wars canon?
That's kind of hard, actually. I think I might go to the Lego set because it looks clean.
Okay, yeah.
Like with
the
one.
Apparently, the barge and that Jabba's palace came out a wave apart. But I guess they would have still. I wonder if he says that the sail barge and the palace came out a wave apart.
Yeah.
So then, which one did the skiff come in? It had the. I imagine it came out alongside one of those. Maybe the sail barge. That probably makes the most sense. But yeah, so like my history with the Republic gunship is interesting because I feel like I fell in love with the Lego set before I fell in love with like the ship in canon. Like I just thought it was a cool Lego set initially, and then once because I'm pretty sure I found out about the Lego set before I even like watched episode 2. At this point, I had really just played like the Lego Star Wars video game.
Yeah.
So and I remember like seeing the set, and I was like, "Holy crap! Like that's a cool set. It comes with so many clones, and like it has all these guns and stuff you can use with them." And I wanted the set so bad, and then I didn't really come to appreciate the ship until I guess I like watched the films, and then even in the Clone Wars, like they use them pretty extensively. It's such a perfect vehicle. Other than the fact that apparently in the films, once they run out of rockets, that immobilizes every other weapon on the ship.
Really?
Yeah, because like I mean, and there's that like the end of episode 2 when they're chasing Dooku, and they're just like, I think Obi-Wan's like shoot him down or something, and he's like, "Oh, we've run out of rockets," and it's just like there's like 6 other guns on that ship. You can't.
Yeah.
What is going on? But I'll chalk that up to George Lucas writing.
Yeah.
Good old Republic gunship. If I was in Star Wars and I had to rely on one ship, I'm taking the gunship.
Yeah, that one gunship alone. I was like, firepower.
Exactly. There's guns all over it, and it can fit a pretty good amount of troops inside of it. Like it's just it is the Republic gunship is God's. It is like the god among ships, I would say.
I'm surprised the Empire didn't use it in in their army because it's like literally the most, like it's like the best like dropship.
Right? Yeah. I mean, and honestly, I wouldn't count it out with the rate that we're getting like new Imperial stuff in these new films. I wouldn't be shocked if some sort of Imperial gunship pops up. I also wouldn't be shocked if like somewhere in like Legends there was some sort of Imperial gunship.
Probably.
So I was doing some research earlier, and I was trying to find because I knew that like the Imperial landing craft, which I guess would be the closest thing to the Republic gunship for the Empire, was added into the special editions for A New Hope. And I saw it. It's like, I guess, in the background of that scene where he's like, "Look, sir, droids," and it kind of makes me wonder, like, why was it? I don't know, like why is that ship? Why does that ship exist when functionally it's so close to the Lambda shuttle? Like, does it? Maybe the only thing I can think of is maybe it holds more troops, but I don't know. Like it just seemed kind of unnecessary.
Yeah.
Enter says there's those gunships in Rebels. Oh, there is the ones that they look like the Coruscant gunships.
Yeah.
More colored. How do you feel about that ship? I don't love it. It looks kind of lame to me, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I feel like they could have just used a gunship. Well, I guess because Coruscant gunship won't really be ideal. Like for the dropship we use, he's like smaller, so you can like get around the city like quicker, I guess. But
yeah, like from the transition we see, like from the Republic to the Empire, like they just take a totally different philosophy when it comes to like ships and such. Like, because you think about it, like there was, I guess they kind of went. The Ark was, I would say, like the main starfighter that the Republic used up until Palpatine started taking over. And then they just decided, you know what, screw it. Like, we'd rather invest money into a bunch of these, like, puny ships with no hyperdrive, no shields, and, like, try to overwhelm the opposition. And, yeah, I agree. There's the design of that Coruscant / Imperial gunship it's a very ugly ship.
The Empire has a thing for, like, solar panels.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm learning about that firsthand because I got to build the Corvus. And
it's like you could like you literally got solar panels like let me get a picture up.
I don't understand I don't understand the purpose of them being on the Corvus. The Corvus is such a giant ship. Like, it's gonna be really difficult to design that just because like they're just so huge and they're all over the place. And
there's solar panels under like from like
like, exactly. Someone brought up the Wookiee gunship, and that was during that just like weird period of Rebels. Like, I don't care for that at all.
It's like a weird like a weird Apache.
Yeah, no, it honestly it looks relatively similar to the Republic gunship.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But they just made it look awful though. It's like if they were trying to design a Republic gunship, that would have been like concept art that they evolved from. And then the Wookiees just have this ugly hand gunship for some reason.
Oh, it's so weird.
So let's talk about some of the Confederate ships. So where do you stand? I like the Trade Federation color scheme a lot more than I like the Confederate color scheme. Like, I think that the tan AAT is far superior to the blue AAT, and similarly, I think that the brown MTT looks much better than the blue MTT. Where do you kind of stand there?
I feel like the Confederate sort of I guess like color scheme for like vehicles and stuff makes it more organized. there's something to like the tan droids mixed with like the tan like AAT and like the brown MTT. That makes it more unique. Makes like the droid army more unique.
Yeah, I suppose. I guess I don't know. I felt like they looked pretty uniform to begin with, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they just wanted to. My opinion is they probably just wanted to sell more toys, so they're like, "Hey, let's change the colors of these things." It's the same reason that, like, in Episode 2, like the color scheme of Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter, like I don't think that like they initially intended for like Jedis to have various Starfighter colors. Like Obi-Wan's color scheme is basically just the Republic color scheme. Like it's the same as the Republic gunship essentially. And then in Episode 3, they were just like, let's just give them new let's just give them new fighters. And like, oh, let's make them all different colors and give Obi-Wan and Anakin each two different ones in this film. So we can
probably just to like make it more clear, like who's in like what ship, I guess.
Right, yeah. I guess that's fine. I can see how they would want to do that. Forever Lego Studio says, I think the tan tank looks better than the blue. That is the correct opinion.
Yeah. I can't agree with that.
So what is the last Lego Star Wars set that you bought? I don't really care about the last Lego set you bought.
It was the half medical chamber.
Ooh, that's a good set. Did you have any of like the figures before you got that set, like the Hoth Leia, Diaper Luke, or the Q1B droid?
Nope.
That's good, then. That was quite the pickup. I had all those figures before, but the nice thing about that set is they updated all of them, so it was still, worth getting that set.
I think Diaper Luke is probably my favorite minifigure.
Oh, the Diaper Luke?
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool figure. I would love to just like have been in the theater the first time people saw that, like Luke floating in this giant tube in a diaper. It's like, wow, okay, well, that's different. I like to, anytime I see something like weird in Star Wars, I like to do a little thought experiment. I call it, would Rian Johnson have gotten away with this? So, for example, I think about everything we know about the Jedi through Episode 4 and like up until Dagobah. And imagine if we were kind of in the world we are now, and Rian Johnson decided to make the most powerful Jedi a little green frog-looking dude. How do you think people would react to that? You think they would be? Do you think they would like think of Yoda as fondly as they do now?
I don't think so, honestly.
Yeah.
Like they I guess this sort of hype. Looks like when you watch the movie like A New Hope, you expect the Jedi to be wise, sort of wise like people. Then you watch back, you meet Yoda. It's like a little green goblin.
Yeah.
With like whacking people with sticks.
Exactly.
Like,
I don't get the impression that Rian Johnson could have gotten away with that.
No, not at all. I think because in A New Hope they mentioned the Clone Wars. I think if Rian Johnson wrote it like today, people would go, the Clone Wars? That sounds stupid.
Yeah, why are there clones in Star Wars? It's not the Star Wars I remember.
Not my Star Wars.
Rian Johnson's ruining childhoods.
Oh man.
Yeah, maybe I'll make that like a recurring thing on like my Your Questions Answered. Like, would Rian Johnson have gotten away with this? This is a little nice.
I love that. What if Rian Johnson wrote the Old Republic games?
I don't know. I feel like are you talking about like Knights of the Old Republic specifically, or like the?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like those are pretty in line with like A New Hope. I mean, the first game is almost the story of A New Hope. There's just more things kind of thrown in there, but I don't know. I don't think like there's a lot more pressure on the Star Wars films to be in line with like what we think is traditional Star Wars than just like the games and stuff. Like the games get a lot more freedom. Like there's certain stuff that people love about the Star Wars video games, like Star Killer and Force Unleashed, that like if they try to do something like that in a film, people would hate. So I get the impression the burden on the games is a lot less than in the films. Captain Lego Star Wars says, "Did you hear of Ryan Johnson bullying the Star Wars YouTuber Mike Zero?" Mike Zero is I don't even like. Where do I even begin with this guy?
He's an interesting character. I'll say that.
Yeah, that's the nice way we'll put it. Enthard says, topic of conversation: is Han getting the name Solo any more ridiculous in universe than FN2187 getting the name Finn? No, because it's just because like I'm trying to separate like the fan in me who knew Solo's name before that movie and kind of how it all went down. I don't know. I thought that was fine. I felt it's different than what happens with Solo. Like Poe is just like, I'm not gonna call you these letters. Like FN sounds like Finn. That's fine. Whatever. It wasn't like oh, I'm alone, so I'm an Imperial officer and I just give people random names. I don't know. Like the situation just seems a lot different to me. I would have been totally fine accepting the fact that his name was just Han Solo. Like that was just his name.
Yeah, I would have been fine with that.
Appreciate that, Destiny.
Like imagine it was like if it did something similar with like Mace Windu, where Windu was his actual like last name.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's Windu over there. I'll just call you Mace Windu.
Danny says, Enthiter's right. In the situations, they're similar. Like they're both given their names because of who they are and what their name sounds like. Well, but that Han wasn't given that name because of what he sounds like. He was given that name just because he doesn't have any family. Someone says, I wonder how people would have reacted if The Force Awakens were released later and we were already introduced to Finn. I don't think it would be as bad as the Solo thing. I don't know. The Solo thing to me is just, it's too on the nose. It's too like, haha, look at what we did here. Whereas the Finn thing, it was just, I mean, I feel like most of us knew his name before the film, right? And when you heard it, it's just like, oh, okay, that's why I use Finn, and it's just whatever. Like,
it makes a lot of sense.
The Finn one, in my opinion, makes a lot more sense than the Solo one.
Yeah,
because it begs the question, right? Like, how many other Solos are there walking around the galaxy because they went to this Imperial recruitment thing, didn't have any family?
There's probably like 100 Solos out there somewhere.
Disney should totally like bring back Jaina Solo, and she's not related to Han at all. She's just like, her parents just ended up going to an Imperial recruitment thing, and that was the name they were given. That would be the biggest like haha.
Can we get a film called The Solo Bunch? where it's like a film about Han Solo, Leia, and Ben.
Yeah. So here's a question. After watching The Force Awakens, were you convinced that Rey was going to be a part of some special lineage?
Nah.
Like, not at all? You had no doubt she was going to be a nobody?
I didn't really care much about, like, her lineage or who her parents were, really. Like, when I watched, I still don't. Because it's not really, I don't think it's about, it's more about her, like, her character is more about her, like, getting over the past instead of what her, like, where she came from. It's more about her dealing with the fact that, like, that she has to get over, like, her past and not dwell on, like, where she, like, who her parents were. More about her becoming more than just some, like, scavenger on generic desert planet.
Right. I agree. What's going on? It says, so I don't want to seem rude. I'm enjoying this conversation with you and Commander Creed, but it seems as though people are getting antsy and want to join the stream. Yeah, I'll have other people on. Like, don't worry about that. I have a guest on and we're talking. You guys will have your time. Don't worry. But yeah, I agree. I feel like, and I like the dynamic too, because it I don't know. For me, it kind of combats the whole idea from that a lot of people get, like, oh, like the most powerful Jedi have to be related to someone. But I mean, we see thousands of or hundreds of Jedi in the prequels, and none of them got special family. So like, why is that burden switched to Rey, right? Yeah, like, I didn't finish watching the prequels and be like, whoa, like, who is Yoda related to? He has to have some, like, special family out there to be such a powerful Jedi.
Yeah, like, oh, who are Ahsoka's parents or whatever?
Exactly. Like, she was just some random Togruta that Plo Koon found.
It's like people don't, like, even though there's, like, they, like, Lucasfilm has sort of keep building on the Force. They tell you, like, how the Force works in a way. I mean, they've told you it in the prequels and in the Clone Wars that the Force, like, people get the Force, like there's no, like, you don't need to have parents that are Force sensitive to be Force sensitive yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's like the Force chooses people.
Right. And I feel like, I don't know, I guess people just forget that. Like, I remember I was watching Clone Wars with Garrett the other day, and there's this one arc where I guess the Emperor like arranges for maybe, like, I don't remember exactly what's going on, but basically like Jedi babies are being hunted, and I know what you're talking about. Right, but in the Clone Wars, there was a freaking Gungan, like, Force sensitive baby, and I don't know. That's just no. Same way that, like, certain species are innately not weak-minded, so they are susceptible to the Jedi mind trick. I feel like certain species should just, like, not be Force sensitive. Like, the idea of a Jedi Gungan is the most absurd thing.
I think it was more like we've had, like, a Force sensitive Wookiee and a Force sensitive, like, Hutt. And it's like, it's this, like, weird seeing, like alien species you don't expect to be Jedi. Like, how would how would a Wookiee hold a lightsaber?
And I feel like they almost ran into the same issue with, like, Pon Krell. Like, the Dexter Jetster species should probably not be lightsaber wielders.
No.
And same with even like there's this one Jedi on the council. His name is Coleman Kaj, and he's like basically a tentacle monster with a long beard. And it's just like what could he possibly contribute? Like,
I think I know what you mean. Who you're talking about?
And he says, "Oh man, a Jawa Jedi." Exactly. Like the Clone Wars set up this whole idea, like, oh yeah, like anyone can be a Jedi, and no, like some of the species are just too ridiculous. So you watched the entirety of Rebels, right?
Yes.
What was your overall impression on Rebels once it was all said and done? Like, were you fulfilled with the show?
I'd say I was satisfied with it. I mean, it definitely could have. I think, after, looking back on the finale now, I feel like they could have done it differently. But I don't have much against it.
Okay. Yeah, I think the finale kind of soured me on it. Like it seemed, I just felt like the show built up to essentially just pose more questions rather than answer the questions that the show. I don't know. I would have appreciated a definitive ending to Ezra and Thrawn, and it seems Dave Filoni, he can't. It's hard for him to let him go of his characters, and we see that with Ahsoka. He's been in everything now, and he wasn't able to just let Ezra have the end of his story. Right? It's like, I have to leave it open in case Disney gives me another cartoon series. I can throw another character in, and that's one of the biggest reasons I don't love Dave Filoni. Just I feel like he relies too much on the novelty of bringing back familiar characters. This will get people excited because they're familiar with this person. Which kind of has me a little hesitant on the Clone Wars. We're getting the unfinished episodes, but how much are they really going to answer is my question. I feel like he's still, I don't know, maybe he's just really concerned about his job security, so he purposefully leaves his stories open-ended to I guess push for Disney to hopefully give him another job writing more stories in the future.
Yeah, I can see that.
Dave Filoni. So, which show did you like more, Rebels or the Clone Wars?
That's a tough question. I really like both, but for different reasons.
I agree. It's a hard question for me to answer as well. I think Clone Wars explores better themes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, I almost want to say it's deeper than Rebels, and it really isn't, because Rebels gets pretty deep too. I think it just gets deeper into more interesting subject matter. Whereas I like the fact that Rebels is a linear storyline.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
Yeah, the fact, I don't know, I was watching Clone Wars the other day, and I saw, who did I see? So I guess in the battle, tell me, I might have this wrong, but someone will tell me if I'm wrong. So we see Waxer and Boyle. Are they in the Battle of Umbara? Am I correct about that?
No, they're in Battle of Geonosis 2.
Okay. But I'm trying to. There's so many freaking clones. The gist of the point I'm trying to make is, in one of the first episodes, when they're at that outpost with Rex and Cody, and the last clone that sacrifices himself, right?
Yeah.
In order to save them. Do you remember which clone that was?
Was
it Havoc? I don't know. There's too many freaking clones. Anyways, there's a clone who sacrifices himself in that episode.
Yeah.
And then later on, you see him, and he's alive, and it's just Like why is it filmed out of order? Like why do they do that? It's so unnecessarily confusing.
It's very wacky how they did the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
like the first chronological episode of the Clone Wars is in season 2.
Yeah. Okay, someone says it was Heavy. Okay, so Heavy
Heavy
is the one who sacrificed himself. So then what episode is he in later on?
I could check the super graphic, but someone will probably have
Okay, cool.
knowledge.
That's like, I'd like to think I know a lot about Star Wars, but then you start getting into the Clone Wars, and I'm just like, oh, I'm lost. Okay, it says Waxer was on Umbara. He died. Boyle was in the Cat People episode. Okay.
What?
So does Waxer die on Umbara?
I don't even remember Waxer being in Umbara. I remember Heavy. Because I know Heavy blew up some bomb or something. I don't know.
Okay, Heavy was in the Cadet episode, season 3, episode 1. How do you guys know this? Oh my!
I've got the super graphic in my hands right now, looking at the Clone Wars episodes, and I.
Jeez, you guys are insane with this Clone Wars stuff. I don't know. I've only watched the Clone Wars once through. I'm currently watching it through the second time.
Yeah, I'm watching it again very slowly.
I think the biggest reason I don't retain a lot of Clone Wars information because I never watched it just like and giving it my full attention. I'm usually watching it when I'm building. Like the first time I watched it through, I felt like I missed a lot of stuff because I was working on the first set of pod racers that I made.
Yeah. I feel like there's so much of Clone Wars, like it's difficult to remember, like a lot of us, like what goes on.
Yeah, it's just so much.
Let me check. That's like 122 episodes from looking at this right.
Barbara Lego Studio says, Jay, Clone Wars is my life. I have many knowledge about it. Okay. I'm honestly like, I give Dave Filoni and Clone Wars a hard time, but I think it is really cool though that like, you know, even after the Star Wars movies came out, like there was this whole series that, you know, ushered in a wave of new fans that they were able to get behind, and like there's plenty of people who felt just like Hunter that Clone Wars was your life at one point. So I think that's cool.
Yeah.
More Star Wars fans is always a plus.
I think going back to like the Star Wars Rebels and like Clone Wars, like what are better? I feel like Rebels, because they're focusing to like different things. Like Clone Wars is more focused on war, and Rebels focused on the Force. The thing with the Force is that I feel like the Force is like a personal like thing.
Sure, absolutely.
And Rebels is like a personal story surrounding like, essentially a family. And I think that's what I like. I think that's why I like Rebels more, like just a bit.
For sure. That actually kind of brings up a good point. So I was listening to this podcast rather, and they posed one of the questions like, you know, what do you like most about Star Wars, the war or the lore? Which is simply like, you know, do you like the war dynamic, or are you more into like the Force and the personal journey? And I get the impression you're probably more into the lore aspect, which why you like the Jedi stuff more and the Force, which is really interesting. Like, because Star Wars is this thing where, you know, people have different reasons for liking it, and like very different reasons, right? I feel that's why you have the people who will be like, "Oh, Revenge of the Sith is my favorite film," and they you know, and they think it's great. And I think it really does ultimately boil down to like people just wanting Star Wars for different things. Like, if you're really into the Force and like the personal journey, then you know the prequels I feel are pretty unfulfilling in that regard.
Yeah.
I think we maybe as fans need to have more conversations about that. It'll help us understand each other a little bit more.
Yeah. Like the original trilogy is the Force, then the prequels is like War, and then the sequels is, I want to say, like it's like a mix in a way.
I would say they're a mix. I'd still say that they lean more heavily on the lore than the war.
Yeah. But like, it's still like because you have like the personal like
right, yeah, and that's why
like
I think every Star Wars movie can kind of, but maybe up until Solo, can be boiled down to like, what is it more heavy on, the war or the lore? And I think like that's why you'll see a lot of people who like they don't really like the Disney movies, but they like love Rogue One because it's more in line with like the war side of things.
Yeah.
Enthred says, see, this is why the Old Republic isn't very appealing to me. A lot of stories appear to deal with only Sith and Jedi. That's the thing. Like, I feel like the grand scheme of things, absolutely. Like, it's mostly about the Sith and the Jedi because that's like the big war going on. But in the game, because you don't know your identity initially, you encounter a lot of conflicts that don't necessarily surround either of those things. Like, you encounter things like on worlds that aren't necessarily controlled by the Sith or the Jedi, and there's just so much to it. I don't know. Knights of the Republic is kind of like all-purpose Star Wars to me. There's just so many different things you can get into with it, because you have the big Sith and Jedi wars going on, but it still remains very grounded and like it's you and your crew on your ship going around the galaxy having adventures with each other, and that's Star Wars to me.
I just want a Star Wars game where you can play as a Gungan.
Oh my god! Is there really, other than Lego Star Wars, is there really no Star Wars game where you can play as a Gungan?
I don't think even in the original Battlefront games you can.
Wow! How dare they?
I know.
No love for the Gungans. Someone answer that. Can you give us the name of a Star Wars game other than like Lego Star Wars where you can actually play as a Gungan? There has to be at least one.
No respect for my boys.
Do you actually unironically like Gungans?
No.
Okay.
I say that as I have like 3 Gungan minifigures just laid out right in front of me.
No, okay. So I will say the Gungan minifigures are awesome. That was when I first started getting back into Lego. Like I bought a Jar Jar minifig, the most recent one, and I was just blown away by it. Like the detail on those things are amazing.
Especially the new ones, they like with like the printing like on the heads.
Exactly, like on the ears. That looks amazing. Yeah. So Movie Fan 1 says, or Movie Fan 453 says, in the original Battlefront 1 and 2. I need someone to confirm that.
I don't remember. Maybe in Battlefront 1, but I don't know. I don't remember being able to play a Gungan in. Actually, it might have been in. You might be able to in like the Hunt game mode.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure.
Forever Lego Studio says, Jay, to be completely honest, I would actually love to get a Gungan battle pack. I would love that too. I think Lego should just give us a battle pack of every species, like at some point. Like each species should get its own battle pack.
Like that should be cool. Like We should make a container battle pack where you have like a mix of different aliens.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Entered says, do you think Disney will establish a new base time where the new stories will be clustered around, or will they be scattered about the whole timeline? I'm guessing you mean like the spin-offs going forward, or I want to assume you mean the spin-offs. It's so hard to, at this point, until we know how episode 9 ends, it's kind of hard to say like where like episode 10 will take place. But in regards to the spin-offs, I think they'll definitely be taking place over various different times. I'm still not convinced that we're going to see a spin-off that doesn't take place during the Galactic Civil War era, like anytime soon. I don't know. What do you think?
I'd like to see more stuff before Phantom Menace, because that's like a part of Star Wars that we've never explored yet in like canon.
Yeah, I would. The only thing about that is I feel like it would be really difficult to write a conflict, right? Because the Sith haven't been around for thousands of years or generations, depending on who you ask. And so like, what would be the conflict at that point? You need to come up with something to be happening other than, oh, we're living in this peaceful time. Andrew says, I just think eventually there'll be too many stories around the Skywalker era, so they'll do what? I think there already are too many stories around the Skywalker era.
Yeah. Got like 9 films.
Yeah. And I don't know, like I've seen some people who are like optimistic that they will do more Clone Wars film like episodes, like that it coming back can mean though they start doing more episodes beyond it. And I think like there's a very small percentage of chance that will actually happen. I think after this, like they're completely done, which is good. Like, let the Clone Wars ride off into the sunset. But if they were to do that, I don't know, like I would be so annoyed by that. Like, we've gotten so much of it. Like we don't need more.
Like what more stories could you possibly have for the Clone Wars?
Exactly. Like I feel like as is, there are already too many stories in the Clone Wars. Like it only takes over like a 2 or 3 year period. Yet there's just all this stuff happens, and like the characters go through so many conflicts and so many near death experiences, and it's just like it's already too much in my opinion.
Like we've got an episode where it's like some pie or something, and there's like this cake. When like
wait, what?
Like there's it's like an episode of Clone Wars where I can't remember exactly, but it's like C-3PO has to get like an ingredient for a cake or something.
Yeah, that's so. I know exactly what you're talking about. I watched that recently, and he ends up getting. I think is Cad Bane trying to get like information, so they like kidnap the droids to like find out the schematics of the temple or something like that. Yeah, and they wipe their minds and then send them back. Like it's just like we really get into some deep filler in those episodes, and that was not a cake pun. But yeah, enough Clone Wars. We've gotten enough.
Yeah, just let it end while it still can.
Right. Which like it really makes you wonder, right? Like if Disney hadn't if Disney hadn't bought Star Wars, will we be like on Clone Wars season 9 right now? Like, is that all the Star Wars that we just would have gotten? It would just be all Clone Wars. Like,
I feel like they've had like an end, so I don't think we would have continued beyond like whatever season.
Oh, okay.
Like, I think this like final season they're doing was like the intended like last season we were gonna do.
Right. Yeah, I feel you. So, how do you feel about Anakin having a Padawan? I'm under the, I don't know, I just feel like even in episode 3, the Jedi feel that Anakin is not really to be trusted. He's unpredictable. And it makes me wonder, like, why would they give him a Padawan then before that? Like, when he's less mature and more unpredictable.
I feel like what the idea was to sort of test him to see if he's like, if he's like able to teach like a younger Jedi, like, you know, like, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I guess, I don't know, given how they feel about him in episode 3, I get the impression like the last thing they want is for, you know, like that guy to create more Jedi that might end up like him. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he turned Ahsoka like kind of into him, like with an attitude and
Right.
sort of thing.
That's Dave Filoni for you. Let's give Anakin a Padawan. Why not? Which then raises the question: would Rian Johnson have gotten away with that? Probably. Like, why does seriously though? Why does Dave Filoni get so many passes and Rian Johnson doesn't?
Yeah. Well, there's got some questionable things.
Space whales, time travel. I would love if in episode 8 Rey went to a giant temple and there was a door to every iconic Star Wars moment. Right in there.
Break the fourth wall. Like,
exactly.
It'll be like Lego Star Wars, where it's got like Jedi Temple and it has like different doors with like 1, 2, 3, like above.
Yeah, exactly. Which level do you want to play, right? I mean, that's basically what it was in Rebels, right? Like,
yeah.
And like, there's just random quotes. Like, oh, that makes me so mad. Like,
what was so weird was like when Palpatine like doing his
yes! And he's like using his Force lightning through the door. Like, oh my god,
that was whack. What was
that? Dave Filoni, man, what a guy.
It's like literal space magic, though.
Exactly. Oh my god. I'm glad Rebels is done. Well, it's not really done because Dave Filoni never ends anything. But
Star Wars Rebels 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. I'm honestly shocked that Star Wars Resistance isn't like a direct sequel to Star Wars Rebels.
Mm.
Forever Lego Studio says, good old Dave. Ugh. And his obsession with wolves is kind of concerning.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Dave Filoni is a furry.
Like, he's got his own clone battalion based on wolves.
Yeah.
It's got horse wolves.
Yep. Yeah.
What is next? Oh yeah, a wolf Jedi or something.
Oh yeah. What's up, Jedi Bob? We got Jedi Bob in the house. So, what was a sadder moment in Star Wars cartoon history? When Ahsoka gets framed and kicked out of the Jedi Order, or when Kanan dies? Which one got you more in the feels?
Ooh, I think Ahsoka got me. Actually,
Okay.
I felt similar for like both, like because when you watch, well, you when you're watching them, like even when, especially like when you're watching them as like as it's still like being released and stuff, you sort of grow with like the character throughout the story.
Right.
So it's like a similar thing with like Ahsoka and like Kanan, but except one of them is not alive anymore.
Yeah.
But
Forever Lego Studios says Fives had the saddest death. That was pretty sad too. I don't think that was on the level of Ahsoka, in my opinion, though.
yeah.
All right. What else? Movie fan 453 says, "Do you think Lando will die in Episode 9?"
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think
It doesn't seem necessary.
exactly. Yeah, like I was kind of talking about this yesterday, but the reasons to kill off a character, I feel, is one to like make another character seem more bad, which I would say like that's kind of why they did it with Kylo and Han. But then also I feel it's to give a character a definitive ending. Like Lando doesn't need a definitive ending. Like he's a side character. He can go off and do. We don't really need that question answered. But for our main characters, I think it's important to give them definitive endings. So it's to have their book open and close in the scope of the movies.
I can't stop looking at the screenshot I took of like Resistance, like Gerloff, like the droids.
Oh yeah,
it's one droid with like arms and legs. I can't stop looking at.
He's wearing like a helmet too. Like it's like an Astro droid with a helmet.
Are you talking like the pit droid?
I think so, maybe.
That's like I think they're only like episode 1.
Is there an? I was talking about from Resistance. The pit droids though are like. Honestly, like I would have preferred if they just replaced all the Gungans with pit droids. Like they're just a whole civilization of pit droids. like if you're gonna go for the comic relief, why not just go for the pit droids?
Pit droids just have this certain look to them.
Yeah, they're hilarious. And then there's the one Clone Wars episode where they're like controlling the civilization.
I remember the pit droid from the one droid episode where it's like a team of droids. One with like the arc what Gregor was in.
It sounds vaguely familiar. That sounds like something that would happen in Clone Wars. I don't remember it, but it definitely sounds like something that would happen.
I can't remember what the episode was called. Let's see.
Says real quick, Jay, what's your thought on the new Lego Adults format? I haven't seen it yet. I heard of it. I don't know what that's about. I didn't look into it.
Lego Adults.
D Squad arc.
Oh yeah, D Squad.
What exactly is D Squad? Is that the droid?
Yeah, essentially like a team of like droids for whatever reason, and we go to his planet. I can't remember exactly what.
Oh, and while you're here, I saw someone on like Facebook post a picture of your Naboo Starfighter build with chromed out parts, and holy crap, it looked amazing. I don't know if you've seen it. If not, I can send it to you. But holy crap. Josiah Weber says, "What do I think of the Force of Destiny show?" I've never watched it, so can't say much. That show's not for me.
Pretty much, yeah.
Says, yeah, I've ordered chrome parts for my own. Okay, here's my question for you, Enther. How much did it cost you to get all the chrome parts for it? Because I'm absolutely planning on building that fighter, but I need to know the price. Jesus, no offensive, but your camera's really bad. It's not the camera, it's because I'm streaming through Hangouts. You go get every other stream, it don't look like this. But yeah, there's not really much I can do about it, guys. Sorry. I was just sent a picture. So is it all just fish? Like I saw that picture, but I don't like what exactly is it though? It says earn more than you'd like. I've just done a ton of overtime, so it's like crazy. What the heck moment for me? Wouldn't consider it otherwise. Well, how much is it? I'm willing to spend the money. I just want to know how much it is. What are my thoughts on the new Brick Vault AAT? I haven't looked at it too extensively, but from what I've seen, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I watched the video of it. And it's like he's got a like the back of it opens up as well. You need to put like,
nice.
a jacket droid in it. It's actually pretty cool. We also made a.
Oh, what's up?
We also made like a minifig like scale Republic tank as well.
I saw that. Yeah, I actually did see that. That one looked pretty dope as well. Oh, you're the Lewis who built it. Okay, I looked on the page and it said it was built by Lewis, but I had no idea who it was. But yeah, good job, man. I actually looked at that the other day. Who animated my steak fig? What do you mean? I don't understand that.
I think does he mean like where it goes down thing? Intro?
That's my good boy. What's his name? John Cena. Entered says 110 euro for the chrome parts in addition to the rest. Oh my god. Okay, that's a bit much.
Oh, imagine making the Padme Starfighter, like the Padme ship, like the chrome ship.
Yeah, so I've been trying to figure out like. So here's the thing, right? Like I want to do a pod race mock, which means I'm gonna have to build a that like her first Naboo yacht that we see, and like the question is like how do I go about getting it chromed? And the cheapest way would just be to build it in whatever colors and then have someone like professionally chrome it. The only problem with that is once it's chrome, you can't take the pieces apart. So the other option is to have someone chrome each individual piece, which will obviously be a lot more expensive. So, we'll see. I'll deal with it when it comes up. But dude, $110? Oh my god. Holy crap.
That's insane.
I was not expecting that much. I expected maybe like $50. Like maybe.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my god. I was like totally like, yeah, man, I want to get like 3 of those Naboo starfighters. They'll look great. Oh my god. That's so much. Okay. I don't know about that. Wow.
I mean, so it'll look good.
Yeah, it looks amazing, but like, holy crap. Oh my god. Like, I would love to do it, but that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's worth it to me to do it, but that's still a lot of money. Oh my god. Lewis says he's currently building a minifig scale LAAT, and it's proving to be the hardest build yet. Yeah, I can imagine. There's some weird shapes on that thing, but yeah, best of luck. Oh my God, N3, you madman. All right, so I'm actually going to go take a break. I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat. I'll probably actually end the stream and then come back. But it was a pleasure having you on, man. I'm glad we finally got to talk about some Star Wars. And when I come back, guys, I'll have more guests on. So those of you who have been asking, you will get your opportunity. But yeah, I'll probably be back in like 30, 40, who knows. But I'm going to close out the stream, guys. And when I get back, we'll see what happens. So, Creed, do you have anything you want to plug or anything like that?
No, I got nothing going on.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, man. It was a pleasure.
Oh, yeah, it's been fun.
All right.